So today we're working on the battery boxes for the M105A trailer. We've got one that's going to hold the actual deep cycle battery. The other one's going to be able to house our electronics and go. We know this is not 100% waterproof, but this is what we'll use for a lot of the connections. And if we ever wanted to go to a second battery, we would have that option. What we came up with, I had some leftover 2" by 3" bar that we had used on the Gladiator to make some bed rails to go across. And in doing that, this is just left over. With the back lip on the back side, it's enough to house the battery weight a little bit. Just try and get that angle. We'll end up probably putting in a little spacer, and then the most of the weight will be supported on this side here, allowing for when the battery to sit in here, just kind of support that weight on that. So we're going to start grinding. So as you can tell, I've welded this in and sprayed it. We've got our holes drilled for the battery boxes, and we've got one in here and one on the back side. We're going to get those mounted and get the wire done. So as you can tell, we finished up from last night, and I've been out here working this morning. I've got the brake disconnect on. As you can tell, when that pulls, it does have that light to show you that it's been engaged. We've got that wired up. This will be tucked in a little bit better here, the wiring. And this wiring is going to be cleaned up also, but we got the boxes in on the mounts. And how we did that was just put a bolt in the back and a bolt in the front. And I'll show you from the bottom side what that looks like. So this is the bolt from the back of the box, and then we got the bolt from the front of the box. The wiring is still a little bit in the messy. I haven't finished it up, but this is that controller again that we had brought in, or sorry, not controller, but distribution box. And we're gonna finish that up, and then from here, our main power distribution will be in the battery box above it, which will be all of our main current. But following the wires, you can see the blue and the black are for our trailer brakes coming down and across. We've got those connected. We've gotten the most of this painted. I've still got to do some touch up. I had to get some more paint, and the next thing I'm going to be doing is putting some wire loom on this and cleaning this wire up a lot here, so we'll get to that. Apologize that I don't go over every little thing that I plug in. The wiring information is out there already on the internet of how to wire, so I'm just going over kind of what I did on mine to choose my wiring and options. As you can tell, I've got the deep cycle battery here for everything we need. This is what I'm also using as my trailer brake emergency wire, which I showed you earlier here. On the inside of this, I've already got some of my wiring started, ran to this position. I've got a little tiny weatherproof switch on the outside that is right up here. And I am part of emergency response, and I have rolled up on a lot of accidents. So because of that, I do like to have emergency lighting on my vehicle, which is what that's for, and I'll show you that in a minute. But that is the weatherproof thing. I have ran some of the wire. There's 3 wires that come in, and that is in a housing that then goes down underneath, if I can get there. And it's that wire there. I have not screwed it up yet. As you see, I have put on the wire loom on that, and it goes up into this post right here. I drilled that hole and through, and it follows up this part. And you see it comes out the top. And for right now, I've ran it here, and then we're going down the middle. I will come back in with some zip ties and tighten that up, make it look a little cleaner, but I'm not at that point yet. On the back side, as you can tell, I've wrapped the extra rope and wire, or I'm sorry, just wire, no rope. And I've mounted a single light that is also hooked into my reverse. So when I go into reverse, this will come in, give me a lot of lighting for when we're on the trail and I can see where we're going. At the same time, if we are at a campsite and need lighting to set stuff up, I can turn this on, and we can even adjust this downwards at a different angle so it's not blinding you in the eyes. I got lucky that this is actually the same width of the Smitty built racks, so it literally went right on both sides with no issue. Coming from the back, I'll show you, those are the lighting there that I put on for that switch, and anytime you hit the brake will override those lights flashing in that position, but that goes back to just for emergency use. kind of just do a quick walk around. I've still got to take this off and spray paint the rest of it to match, and we're good. I've got the panel just sitting in the back for right now. The sun was beating on it until just a couple minutes ago. I'm not sure if I'm going to mount this one permanently to it or if I'm going to just leave this here at the house. This one is a very small trickle charge just to keep the battery topped off. And I've got that ran into right here, one of the plugs I put in. That's ran to the inside and ran up. Just so that the battery doesn't slide forward and smash that. I did put in a small piece of wood at the bottom just to keep that battery pushed to the back. But all the weight of the battery is still supported by this part that I put in the other day and the screws on the back side. So I think that pretty much covers the most of it. And I'll give you a real quick up underneath. Now that we've finished that wiring up, just kind of let you see what it looks like cleaned up. And I'll go to the back side. Showing you it's cleaned up. I've had a lot of people ask me about the setup that we did for the rims and tires. As you can tell, it is a 8-lug standard rim, very standard for the trailers. And then I went with a light truck trailer tire. Sorry, not trailer tire, light truck tire. But in the biggest size I could do, which was the 285/85/16, gives it that aggressive tread and makes it where it's very common to find this. We use the 12-inch drum brakes on this. It is probably overkill, but it just went with the weighting that this trailer already had. I'm gonna look for the specs that I have and see if I can put the exact ones up to help you guys out. But that's what we've got so far.
Purchased, especially the stuff from E. These are just the sizing of what I bought. I bought everything here at my local store, much cheaper prices than what it is online. I had about $200 or $250 into it. Now the stuff from Amazon, this is stuff actually that I ordered with the tires. Just if you guys want the same stuff that I got. If you watch these, they price adjusts every now and then. The prices that you see here aren't necessarily the exact price I paid. I had some discounts and other stuff available with these. So the final price, I'm still trying to tally up, but this at least shows you some of the items you might need.